Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's No FOMO Charts, Stocks, and Crypto TA live stream. Today is Sunday, April 4th. It's actually Sunday, April 2nd, 2023. It's about 7:15 p.m. Let's go ahead and get started with some current events and news. This week, we do not have that many stock earnings in the USA. We have Acuity Brands, Simply Good Foods, Conagra, Constellation Brands, Levi Strauss, WD-40, and more companies as well. We do have more USA earnings data releases this week. We have manufacturing, PMI, job openings, non-farm employment change, services PMI, unemployment claims, average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, and employment rate. This Friday data is going to be pretty important here. Although this week we have some religious and traditional based holidays here in the USA. So we have Good Friday this Friday. So the USA stock market is actually closed for that. It's a traditional observance of that holiday. And quarter two, 2023 actually begins tomorrow, Monday, for businesses, economy, and the stock market. So if you're in my Discord, I did release that one picture from Yahoo Finance, which says that the U.S. labor market data remains strong in face of inflation and interest rate hikes. What that basically means is that FOMC chairman basically said that there are too many jobs still open right now. Even though we have layoffs and whatnot, we have more jobs open and available right now still, right? Which means we don't have crazy high unemployment right now. So that's one kind of issue in the plan of the FOMC interest rate hikes. Also, if you saw that breaking news last week, I don't really like to talk politics on this stream, but this might move the stock market in some way. But the former USA President Donald Trump was indicted by Manhattan grand jury on more than 30 counts related to business fraud. So we'll see if that actually moves the stock market or not. This is breaking news. McDonald's temporarily shutting their USA offices and preparing layoff notices. That just happened on Sunday, about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, in terms of crypto, the US CFTC is suing Binance Crypto Exchange for a host of reasons, mostly related to regulation problems. So, allegedly, Binance has been doing unlicensed derivatives trading, insufficient anti-money laundering and know your customer KYC controls, knowingly helping USA clients evade regulators, and trading against its own customers. This last one is actually in the terms of service, the market makers. So once you sign the contract with the crypto exchange, the market makers know your order. They could trade against you. That's already in the terms of service. That idea. At least I remember in certain terms of services, it says that market makers are the ones supplying the trades or something like that. So they know the customer's orders. It's kind of known in the trading world that happens. The selling of data. All right. And then CZ, the CEO of Binance, responded on Twitter with 4, which means ignore FUD, fake news, attacks, etc. So, if you're a crypto trader, crypto investor, this is just part of the growing pains, I would say, of the industry. Basically, USA regulators are trying to really go after crypto exchanges because of what happened with FTX 4 or 5 years ago. It wasn't this bad, but we knew if you were experienced crypto trader, investor 4 years ago, 5 years ago, we knew this day would come. It's only a matter of time before the US government tries to do something about crypto. Okay, so all of that news out of the way. We have that in our minds now, in the back of our minds. Now, let's get to the actual technical analysis. Again, I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch. We also have a Discord group. It's a technical analysis live stream. I always start off with some news, so we're just informed of what's going on this week. Let's start off with SPY, S&P 500. Zoom in on the chart here, like I usually do. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. S&P 500, we're still in this short-term upward wedge. And my target from last stream was 414. We're almost at that target. Now, the bottom side target was close enough to our support level. So now, what are we in on the S&P 500? We're in this kind of, someone could say, oh, we're in like a rising wedge pattern. So the top target, if everything goes good this month, is about 428, which corresponds with this resistance point on the left side. About 425, actually, 425. Now we established our low, a low, just barely established a higher low on a line chart. So then, like I'm saying, if the market is good, we're bullish, we should be able to hit this resistance on the top. It just makes sense. Higher, low, higher, high, 425. That's the bullish target. If for some reason something goes catastrophically bad in this month, then the support would be somewhere in the 390s down here to establish another low. But if you zoom out, like on a weekly, we can see here that we're actually not going down anymore. Does that make sense? I want to point this out to people very, very clearly. I could have called this at the early, like January 2023, but I wanted to see one more higher low, right? We're actually not going down anymore in the price in the USA S&P 500 stock ETF. I hope everybody sees that. Okay, I'll make it abundantly clear. 2022, where do we go? To the end of 2022 are these pink vertical lines. You could clearly see we were going down. Before that, in 2021, 2020, we were going up. 2022, we're going down. What's happening right now? 2023, we're going up. We have been going up since October 2022. I'm hoping October 2022 is the bottom low of our market, and that we're in the middle beginning stages of starting a new uptrend on the S&P 500 in stocks. That'd be beautiful. We need all stocks to go back up. Now, inflation and interest rates are still too high, but the stock market often leads the economy. Economic data. Even the FOMC chairman, people on CNBC have said the same thing. So I just want to make that clear to people. Now, that doesn't mean there are not any risks in the world. This applies to crypto as well. So, if there's, God forbid, I hope this never happens, another world war, right? If there's World War III or World War IV, we're probably going to go down in that case. If there's nuclear war, it was probably going to crash, right? Or something happens bad with the government, catastrophic, it's going to go down, right? So where's the support? 383. That's kind of our low. If we ever go below 383 or 380 on the S&P 500, then it's cause for some concern. If we lose this low in this blue circle, which would mean we have to do that on the price, that would be bad. But for now, hopefully it's smooth sailing. Hopefully. All right. And we'll just use the price as our guide. All right, let's go to Dow Jones first before QQQ. All right, Dow Jones. Very similar. Obviously, Dow Jones, for past 3 to 6 months, we've been up rallying off of this FOMC low. Okay, so same concept applies. We've been going up to 2021, sideways 2022, and down 2022. And then we've been up and holding in 2023 this higher low right here at 318.40. Erase everything. Still barely trying to hold on to that golden up cross. Still try to see that. Did we break out above resistance? We did, and we rode it. Meaning high, and we kind of riding it, and it's barely trying to survive. If we're going to start a new uptrend, we need to break out above 341, 345. If we're going to start a new downtrend, we need to break below 318, 316.52. So I just kind of boxed the price in like this. And now, personally, as a trader and analyst, I do not have to panic about anything. As a swing trader investor, I have my 2 lines for breakdown or breakout play. On the stream, I just draw blue. In my personal life, I use alerts, right? On a different system, I might use alerts or something like that. But the fact that we broke above the EMAs is good. The only thing is, because inflation interest rates, we are consolidating to the side. Does that make sense? On Dow Jones, it's going sideways. We did go up Q4 2022, first quarter of this year, 2023, we went sideways. January 1st is like right here. We're just barely above that. How many percent? So if somebody invested on January like 2nd or 4th, we're only up 2% on the Dow Jones, okay? All right, QQQ. Next, QQQ, we got that breakout like I was talking about last week. Remember, this yellow bar right here was our resistance, saying we need to break out and hold above that, and we did, 312 to the upside. Now, tech stocks, excuse the background noise, but tech stocks have been rallying. It's like one of the only major categories that has been rallying since the beginning of the year. So traders, investors finding safety in tech stocks right now. We're up on the year 20+%. Now, as a swing trader, somebody might start to take some profit or make an emergency stop loss. We just had a breakout though. So, somebody could have moved their stop loss from down here or middle all the way up here now. So we need to not drop below 312 on the NASDAQ. I'm hoping this kind of chart pattern happens to Bitcoin as well, where we bottom out at 16. I'll show the chart later, but we just slowly creeping up. What does this remind me of? It reminds me of the pandemic low. After the government saved that pandemic low, nobody's really sure. Are we going to go up or are we going to crash down again? Right? There's a lot of fear, tremendous fear back here 3 years ago. It feels the same way, but it's a different problem. People are thinking about inflation or recession risk, and like there's fear, there's panic. I go outside, not panic, but there's stress about it, concern. It's real. But I go outside, I talk to people, everyday people outside, go to the stores and whatnot. People still talking about inflation, or I see it causing problems with people, or people talk about recession risk and strikes and whatnot all around the world. So, it's kind of saturated the market, the news. So I'm like, okay, if every ordinary day people are talking about it, maybe we hit the bottom. Maybe the worst, we might have just gotten through the worst part, maybe. Unless there's some other catalyst that's gonna, break everything down again. But this is what I'm saying. If we hit this low, what's the fears right now? Bank problem, etc., inflation, interest rate. But if we never go back down, there's nothing to worry about on tech stocks. If tech stocks have a bearish divergence here, which it might, it's slowly building for that pullback, right? It's trying to make a higher high in the price, and then it'll bearish divergence, and we'll probably pull back down, back to where we started, 317. So the resistance target, 331 up here. A super target would be 367 up here, which is phenomenal, but that might take 6 months or a year to maybe get back up there. But the fact is if I shut off all the indicators and I turn off the news for a second, and I, on experience, look at this chart, we're going up on tech stocks. We were going down 2022, but we hit this bottom past 6 months. We bounce off of that. As an investor, I get excited about this, although there could be short-term pullbacks, so be careful of that. But I'm saying long-term, 2, 3, 4 years from now, this might have been a bottom. Watch out for that. Short-term is different. If you're like a day trader, you're 5 minute, 15, okay, it's still uptrending right here in terms of indicators. It's uptrending on the 5 minute, it's uptrending on the 15. Although it's getting on overbought range, so we might get like one more FOMO gap up or something like that, and for another day or two, and then pull back. So now, as a trader, I'm looking at dips. Dips are the play. Dip buy, dip buy. Where's the next dip buy? Somewhere up here in 312 or wherever, and then try to ride that up wave up into a profit target as a trader. All right. Let's go faster. Let me check the comments. All right, I'm not seeing any comments. By the way, hello and welcome, everybody. I know I get kind of amped up about this, but, from my experience, why do I try to control my emotions for the most part is because emotions is not a strategy for stock trading and crypto trading. I have my criteria, I have my strategies, I have my setups, and I only try to execute those. The news is usually late. For the most part, unless it's breaking news like McDonald's, right? That's brand new factual truth information. News opinions are usually late. So the price is the leading indicator. It's the most important indicator, the price itself. All right, US oil, we'll do USO, UNG pretty fast. All right, we had this big dump on US oil, and we hit our we hit our support target 58.74 and bounced all the way back up to a resistance level to my target. This is the profit target, $65. Now, what's going on here? Okay, in the short term, we could get these little pullbacks, right? If you're trying to day trade this, hourly, it's getting a little bit of this bearish divergence momentum that's forming. It's trying to bottom out and start a new uptrend. But as long as it remains above, I would say $64, you're kind of okay. I'm talking about this price in the uptrend, right? If it tops out and reverses down, then maybe we'll try to save it on a dip, right? Bulls try to save it on a dip. Not everything is going to go up, though. So I'm not going to push this setup too hard, right? We look at the intermediate long-term descending wedge, we're almost at that roof target. So we would have to break and hold above $70 for me to call. All right, maybe we have some real breakout going on. But for now, it's just an oversold bounce play for the value traders. Natural gas. All right, natural gas, you might be wondering, like, how is it even possible something crashes this much? It's possible. Big money, when they get, they see a setup, big money with fundamental changes, there's a huge bearish head and shoulders, the slanted neckline, up until until the start of 2023, which was a massive short opportunity of negative 60%. Now, that first target has been met. So that's why I'm looking at this and saying, all right, you know, some of us may have caught this one little 40% bounce good, and then I got out of that. It gapped down as well on the overbought FOMO, excuse me. Up here at $10, hit that $10 target, out, sell. And then it's crashing more. So is it actually going? It's one of the lowest prices of all time on UNG on a monthly chart. Okay. If you look at this on a monthly chart, this is why it's dangerous to enter this ETF. It is super downtrending on a monthly chart. Does that make sense? On a weekly chart, there was a reversal here. Back in 2021, and Warren Buffett entered with billions of dollars investment. I remember that news. Do I see a setup right now on this chart like I did in this circle? Do I see it? The answer for me as an investor is no. So I'm not going to buy this based on technical criteria. If there is a fundamental news change, then I'll buy it. But is there a great, perfect bullish setup like this one with a breakout and a continuation higher low and multiple higher lows? No, it's just falling knife. So Wall Street saying, never try to catch a falling knife. So I'm going to wait for that one. All right, let's go quickly. How much time do I have? Maybe like 10 minutes. Let's look at some of these sector ETFs. Before the stream, I really noticed, all right, I've been looking at XLF for some time now. The financial ETF, XLF, as in Frank. Now, what I'm noticing is, yes, we do have the regional bank crash and problem, yes. But when is the last time we had this kind of super crash on XLF? Back here in October 2022. I'm wondering if the worst is over, this could be a nice long entry. I'm really starting to think about that right now. If we don't have any more bad news, there could be like a 20%, maybe 10 to 15% long-term hold, 20 to 25%. If somebody enters here, I might, right? If we hit this bottom, 5% stop loss, and maybe 10% to 20% target, it's not impossible to happen. Because I'm looking at like Bank of America, right? It's really hit its low, riding this lower low on the descending wedge, but it's at a long-term 618 level, which is why it's kind of fighting right here. If we happen to hold above the lowest low of this year, 2666 area, we could try to maintain a new uptrend, and we have earnings coming up in a couple weeks. Okay, so just kind of watch out with that. Now the earnings cycle, sometimes my earnings cycle is very long, because I like to look at a lot of companies, but the majority of earnings was ended back in kind of like early to mid-March. But there's new financial earnings in about 3 weeks from now. So that's why if they have good earnings, which you never know, they might not, but that's something I'm just looking ahead. Wells Fargo is a very similar setup. These American banks, right? You have a crash, but where's the resistance if there's any bullish break? It's like 10%. JP Morgan Chase, not quite such a super low bounce, but you know, we hit the 618, bounced 5%, maybe a little 3-4% extension there. But I was looking at those ETFs, sector ETFs, energy as well crashed and bounced. So there were a lot of interesting opportunities here at XOU. Remember, I underlined this saying the support potential bounce. Same thing here with XLI, saying this is a support level. We might bounce off that. Now, the healthcare fund. So financials and healthcare has been crashed and shorted down. So there's certain companies, like when I was looking at this before. For example, Johnson & Johnson. I was saying on multiple streams ago, 3 months ago, I said maybe we should short Johnson & Johnson right at this arrow. And how much was that? That was like a 12% short. Phenomenal. Now we might be hitting a support level here at this arrow, 152. This might be our low that we've been searching for, and our support, our stop loss about -4%. Maybe it's going to go 6 to 8%, something like that, for a decent trade. Sometimes my trade metrics are larger, but as long as we're getting 2-to-1 trades, that's okay. It's okay. So I'm looking at that. Looking at Moderna, trying to hold this higher low, right? Kind of look at Pfizer as well. Pfizer got shorted down quite a bit, and this is what I'm talking about. Is this potential upside down head and shoulders on Pfizer? Maybe. That's why it's very interesting. Stop loss, maybe 5%. Profit target for a long time, maybe 8 to 10%. These are not financial advice. This is just educational setups, because when's the last time we had a huge crash on Pfizer? We were riding this low. Okay, so if it's going to bounce, this is the setup. This is my strategy. Sometimes I like to buy oversold, but I need support. I need to go at least sideways and then wait for the break, right into earnings maybe, get some profit. We'll see. XLB. Okay, I circled this as support area, and we have a nice oversold bounce. Now, XLRE, I did see the news saying that housing prices are starting to bounce back for the past couple of months or this quarter. So that would match what we're seeing on the price right here on XLRE. We have multiple resistances as well. We're right at this resistance, the second line, the yellow line. That's very interesting to me. This one, kind of a dirty, it got pierced down to the downside, but that actually makes sense. So now you can see it's getting stuck. I kind of want to watch out for a head and shoulders, but because it's already been down so much, it might not be a head and shoulders. If I go to a weekly, this might open up to be a higher low on a weekly. I'm going to try to bounce up to 42 or 45, and we'll see housing prices starting to rebound a little bit just because of the correlation. All right, XOK. So remember, XOK, I remember on multiple streams on the weekly saying that 135 is our line in the sand. If we can hold that, we can bounce up to break above resistance. If we're going to fall down to support, this is our target, but it broke bullish. So then the idea changes. The idea changes, got to roll with the changes. We hit our resistance level, 144, and pierced through that. So now we're in the wedge. Can you see the wedge? This wedge. Angling up to the right, high, low, high, higher, low, higher, high. So if it's going to break out even more, great. Tech stocks for the win, great. Now, where's our gap resistance? 156, 160, 165. Try to get that and break out as well. So that's why I always have two targets, personally, because I never want to get too married to any direction. Not married, but too biased, okay? I don't want to get too biased, especially if you watch a lot of news opinions. If you see a lot of red on the screen, you're going to have a negative bias. If there's 4 CEOs in a row interviews and they're bearish, it's going to influence you. So I just care about the price. I put my line in the sand. This could have been a stop loss too. Potential trade education could have been this. If I'm going to buy on this breakout, where's my stop loss? The blue line, 4%, 8% target. Somebody could have taken their profit on this, right? On one single trade. So, trading investing still works for patient. All right, communication is trying to hold a higher low. Watch out for the resistance on XLC, SMH. Now, this is very easy to see. Okay. Now, on SMH, the last ETF we'll probably look at this is where trend comes into play. Pandemic, we crashed down. Recovery for 2 years. Then we went sideways. Massive head and shoulders saying we're about to go down. Neck break down. Downtrend in 2022. Bottoming out Q4 2022. And then starting a new uptrend into 2023. Right? This is what the skill of a technical analyst is. Down here, there is massive fear. How did you know? So someone might ask me, how did I know? How did I know? Well, on the technical side, there's multiple setups right at this blue circle down here. Multiple setups, multiple signals. Also in Bitcoin. Also, just if you're a contrarian trader, there's a lot of fear in October. So in the second half of 2022, because of inflation and et cetera, there's a lot of fear. I remember that. But then there's also a lot of contrarian people I've seen that the reduction of the basis point interest rate increases was the reason why we would enter in this market. To get ahead of the curve. Same thing with Bitcoin. Now, if somebody, let's say you might be wondering, okay, that's the past. What about now? Now it's high, low, trying to hit this higher high about 285. But entering exactly at this moment in time, there's significantly more risk. That's why technical analysis has to do a little bit with the timing. It's 15% less margin of safety than there was back here on March 9, March 789, right at this spot. So trying to be a swing trader, you kind of have to know your setups and the timing and of the price. And then if you're going to enter, manage position size, risk management, and then risk on, enter the trade. What I do want to caution people is we are seeing a decrease in volume. So the next major dip, might want to enter that on for educational setup. All right, so I think that was a general good overview of all the sectors in the USA stock market, global indexes, and ETFs as well. I think I just missed maybe gold and silver, so we'll just wrap that up. Now, gold trying to make its higher high. We did hit that target of 185. Watch out for the bearish divergence, the bearish momentum that might pull us back down. Okay, so is this a good test question to test your skills? Are we at a relative high or at a relative low right now at the price in this blue circle? Is this a relative high in the price or relative low in the price for, I would say, the past 6 months? Okay, past 6 months, probably going back to about here. I should underline that. So it's a relative high. It's a relative high if we're looking at only 6 months of data. Okay, that's why trying to jump in on the long now, that's could be considered a little bit FOMO because somebody might see, oh, it's up. Oh, we just went up on gold 10% or up on gold 20%. Should I go in or no? I don't know what to do. What a trader might be thinking, I don't know what to do. So in this case, it's a relative high. What happened? We had the last relative high or this relative high pullback. Trying to enter on a dip, buy low, sell high. Generally on entries, just to be a little bit safer, you have a margin of safety. So we could keep going up higher, but it's looking like it might double top, right? In this weekly, we're starting to get this evening star pattern. So it could fall back down to 174. We'll see if that actually happens or not. Silver's a little bit different. We hit the 618. I'm on a weekly chart. We hit the 618 bounce. Beautiful, right up into resistance. So if silver's going to have a rampage breakout, it needs to break out above 2250. And we need to see more green here and then hit some of these like 24, etc. We had a massive, beautiful low on silver here at $17. Higher low. So high, low. We should try to get that higher high on silver, whether it makes sense or not. All right, let's move over to crypto. If you have a request for stocks, please let me know now. Please let me know now, or else I'm gonna go through my regular crypto and then we can do some crypto requests. So if you have stock requests, I'll probably do it at the end. We're moving to crypto at the halfway mark. I see your XRP request. Hello. I'll do XRP maybe in 4 or 5 charts from now. It's always important to look at the indexes first. This is a personal habit of mine, and it saved me many, many times. The 2 times it saved me was in January 2020. I looked at global indexes, knew there's going to be emergency, and I sold all my stocks before the crash. And then when we had this low in October 2022, also looking at global indexes saying, wait, it looks like we're going to bounce, and then enter trades, right? So catching the big, big lows and the highs. Same thing with crypto. I look at total market cap right here, and Bitcoin is topping out 70,000 area. And I see a massive head and shoulders coming in. I've sold. I'm out. I sold my coins in profit, right? I'm not going to hold it through a downtrend. No. I'm a trader for crypto and an investor as well. But if it's going to start downtrending like this on me, I know from experience, before the whole market crashes, as a trader for crypto, you got to get out when you see a big topping out pattern as a resistance like this. Okay. So what am I seeing right now in this market on the daily? Well, I am seeing that we have a descending wedge breakout. Measure move of that could be about 20, 25, 30% from the breakout. We did hit that target. So now we're seeing a little bit of short-term intermediate resistance. Also, we have that Binance lawsuit. So it's going to put a little brakes. It's going to stop the momentum a little bit, I would probably imagine. Just on the fears until, because I'm just gonna be honest. Any CEO can say everything's fine, while in the back the lawyers are panicking, right? So that's why I'm not gonna believe something until I see some real, true, factual evidence. People's words sometimes are not the facts. Like opinions are different than facts, the truth. So we'll wait to see a little bit more of what's going on right now. Starting to form in this rising wedge pattern. Okay. But again, is a relative low at the X to the X. It's at a relative high right now. I am seeing a little bit of this M double top forming, or it's just a resistance level. So the total market cap has to break out if it's trying to go bull above 1.2 trillion, which is up here. You can also draw a parallel channel, okay, as well. On the H4, it is up cross. So if it's going to get a lower low, it's probably going to hit about 1.07 trillion or somewhere around there. If it's really bad, then we should, because it golden crossed, okay, on the daily, we should be able, we already tested it once, but if it's going to test it again, okay, somewhere in this circle. So I'm going to put a dot there next time, just marking our 200 EMA spot, and I'll just put another dot up here, marking that we have to break out above that purple dot, the high. Okay, so let's go to Bitcoin as well, and we'll move down the line to get to our XRP. Now, Bitcoin is very similar. It's a fresh chart. Bitcoin very similar. We are golden crossed on crypto, so it's just a matter of time, of waiting. Okay, of just waiting. Hopefully, this regulation is not a severe attack. We also have the September global regulations for crypto coming out in September. That's only 5 months from now. The Litecoin halving is only 4 months from now. It's not that far away. So the last time we had this kind of golden upcross, okay, is after the pandemic. Right at this blue square. Okay, so that's only one example in time, but if we monitor the price action, what happened here? Let's zoom in. This is 2020. What happened? We had a crash, started to rally up, and then it never went below the AMAs ever again. Does that make sense? Or another way to think about it, we crashed and we just never went down again. And we kept going up. So fast forward to now. We just came from a very long sustained crash. We hit our low here at about 15,000, 16,000 Bitcoin. And now we're starting a potentially a new uptrend with this golden upcross. Now we need to never go below 22,590 Bitcoin. or lowest 20,000, I would say. But 22,000, we need to not go below this blue zone. This is the trouble zone. Okay, does that make sense? Nobody really knows exactly what's going to happen in this blank space, but as long as it never goes back down, we should be fine. Even though we're having this crazy amount of FUD and bad news, and the US Trading Commission and SEC is trying to sue Coinbase and Binance right now and put pressure on these regulators because of FTX and what happened with Luna and FTX, right, last year. And with this bank failures, right, regional bank failures as well. But I'm going to look at the price as my guide. If we start to continue to go up in Bitcoin, I am not selling my Bitcoin. I'm going to turn it to holder investment, right? But the antithesis of that opposite, if we start crashing, then I might sell, stop loss, and be like, okay, what's going on here? Are we going to set up for another support? What's going on here, right? It's a different feeling, different story, different setup. But right now, if this is upside down head and shoulders, the target should be about 50% above the breakout, which should take us to about $40,000 Bitcoin. That's the target up here. The support level, again, like I said, 20,000 and then 16,000. We're looking at those targets. Let me put the circles. Okay, so let me do one more Ethereum, and then we'll go to XRP. If you have a crypto altcoin request, let me know now. I'm probably going to go only about 20 more minutes. Ethereum, similar. Right, we just had the golden up cross and we tested it. We back tested spring pin bar, bounce out of there. Good. Now, same thing. We need to never go below 15,000 or 1,500 or lowest like 1,400 on Ethereum. Why can't we do that? Because then it wouldn't be an uptrend anymore if it does that. Right? We need to make highs, higher lows. Highs, higher lows above 1,500. Not go below that and then make a higher high. Once we hit 2,000 and break above 2,000, that's when I imagine a lot of the FOMO is going to start to kick in, or maybe $3,000, $4,000 Ethereum again, right? But we had this crash, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. And then we had the reversal symmetrical triangle here, and that symmetrical triangle target, very loosely, if I'm using conservative, should be 40 to 80% from the breakout. We hit the 40% target already. The 80% target would be about 2,500 Ethereum. So now there is this support trend line here. It's almost like a ascending triangle now. Somebody could put it that way, okay? So ascending triangles, it's the same thing. You tighten up in here, you hit that support, you break out, they need to back test the top of that, 1,700, and then try to continue to crush and push up. I shouldn't say crush, but break out, hold that support level, right at 1,700 and continue to the upside. So for value traders, there were 3-4 spots in time to get the best value on Ethereum for the investors. The traders, the breakout traders, they might be entering right now or thinking like, okay, somewhere in this blue dot, in the circle, in the pink dot, they might enter in somewhere here again. Or if they're a aggressive breakout trader, they might try to play a breakout above 1850 or something like that to get the $2,000 target. Now, with that in mind, now we go to XRP. Okay, so now I know why people are asking me about XRP. You had a tightening range support explosion rally, okay? Immediately what I want to show is first, why did it happen and probably what's going to happen next. So XRP USDT is, I could see the trend line on the bottom support right here, writing that. That's all we need to know. I could draw maybe 1 or 2 lines like this, right? Support low, support low, support lows, support low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times it happened. Then you have this resistance here, breakout. So if I was going to trade XRP, I don't trade XRP because I'm American, I'm in USA. The exchanges, there was some problem with XRP a couple years ago, so I don't trade XRP anymore, personally. But if I was going to alert this, I would just box it in. Where's that low? 35 cents. Where's the breakout spot? Maybe 39, 40 cents. That's all a trader needed to probably look at this. If it's going to tighten up this much. My strat is buy low, sell high as a trader. Buy low, sell high. So entering right now is a little bit of FOMO on a daily chart. If you're a day trader and trying to play 2 minute, 5 minute, it's a different story. Just play educational dips advice, educational dips, right? Or 15-minute, right? Is it uptrending right now? Because you can see on the EMAs on a 15-minute or even on H1, I choose 15-minute. 15-minute is dip buy, dip buy, dip buy, rally, take profit. Now it's starting to consolidate, low, high, low, high. It might make a lower low, okay, unless we have global buyers that are going to come in starting today and tomorrow to continue this trend. So if it's hourly, we have the 200 EMA bounce, 100 EMA bounce, 50 EMA bounce. Another 200 EMA bounce might happen. So the breakout play would be it had to be above 52 cents and 55 cents for this thing to continue up. If it does not break out above that, then I imagine this thing is going to pull back down to a lower low, maybe about 47 cents or 46 cents as a day trader. Now, the Fibonacci, the 50% is way down here in the 46 cents range. The 618 is 43 cent range, areas of value. 4 hour, we did hit that bearish divergence double top and looking for that consolidation to the downside. The 1 hour did hit this oversold range, so it's kind of in a neutral RSI right now. Nothing's too extreme, so if you're a trader, kind of have to play your supports if you're a long trader as well. If you're a futures trader and you're trying to play short, you wait for these overbought super FOMO like here, and then you short this thing down at the top, right? You short this thing down at the top. But if you're trying to enter in long, just because you see something going up a lot does not mean that's the good spot for entry. It usually means that the best spot was maybe 2 weeks ago. Here, low, 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 low. There's like 7 entries on XRP. For a trade, if you're an investor, it's a different story if you're a hodler, right? Because if we're starting to think, wait a second, didn't we just break out above XRP? The answer might be yes, because we have seen in 2022, looking back in this circle, XRP is volatile. You get these breakouts and then you could have a pullback, right? In this box, that could happen on XRP. You could pull back and consolidate to make another higher low. If it comes back to like 45 or 41 cents, that could be another entry spot. Try to defend that spot at 41 cents and then let it go higher in the future, maybe 1 or 2 years from now. So it's a different mentality. If you're a day trader, it's all about the relative lows and then you got to get out of the trade. If you're a swing trader, this applies to all crypto trading. If you're a swing trader, you have to enter in on a low and then hold it to your target and do the correct technical analysis and risk management profit targets. If you're an investor or hodler, you got to get on at the lowest price and then hold it for as long as you can. Education advice, of course. All right, thank you for that request. I think I really, really really answered that. Okay, somebody's asking about ARB. Can you tell me the exact ticker symbol and the name of the coin if it's a crypto? If it's a stock, can you just tell me it's a stock? Because it's just faster if you just type it in the chat. All right, let's go back to Apple. All right, I guess we're going in requests right now. Let's end 15-minute requests or education. All right, so Apple, we have cases requests. Long entry at 165.06. So you're trying to play a breakout. Okay. Let's see here. This is Casey's request from TradingView. Thank you, Ichbin Kral, for the crypto request on XRP. Appreciate that. Would appreciate follows as well if you're not followed. Would appreciate that on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch. Support the stream. All right, long entry at 165.06. Profit target 175.22. Stop loss 159.74. What is going on here? All right, okay. 2-to-1 play, 3% stop loss, 6%. All right, basically close enough. Now, what you want to watch out for here is this is a advice from a long time ago, but this is the core price trend. I want to just put this in here. Uptrend, three directions in the market. Is it going up? Is it going sideways? Or is it going down? Yes, we are going up right now on a daily. But relative, if you know your multi-time frames, if you start to zoom in a little bit, right, the bearish divergence is starting to form maybe 4 weeks from now, or maybe we hit earnings, we're going to start to get that volatility. So Apple reports earnings in about 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now. So once you start zooming in on a 4 hour, you can see it's getting back to this overbought range. Another hourly. It's very overbought right now. So as a trader, you want to be careful of that. Okay? Because it's essentially in the midterm on a swing trader, you're kind of buying a little bit high. So what the problem with breakouts is, if it is not going to break out, you're actually accidentally, not you, but a trader would accidentally be buying a high on the market. You just want to watch out for that. If this is the breakout, okay, the stop loss might be a little bit tight, so you might get stopped out on it. If it happens to be a relative high and anything bad happens in the market, you can see it could pull back down at least a little bit. Okay, but if this is the one time, that this is the real breakout, okay, it still needs to kind of retest this this zone. So it might float around here for a little bit. It might actually start to go sideways because of the technical setup, right? Because if you look at a weekly chart, where was our low? Way down here at 129. That's why it's a little bit, I would caution people about that, because tech stocks have been going up for so long. If you're trying to do like one swing trade, might want to just be a little bit careful of that. Any pullback could stop you out on this. Let me check one number here on different system. All right. So $3.28 looks like about 2%. So the stop loss, you might have to open up your stop loss a little bit to about 4%, just to make sure some kind of small little mini pullback is not going to kick you out of the trade. Because it might actually pull back like -1 or 2%. Why? Because if you look at QQQ, it also did break out. But like I said, it could keep going. All right. So I'm not saying don't do anything right now, but I'm saying that, you know, this blue bar, comparing the blue bars, entering at the low here is the safer spot. You get the margin of safety. If you're entering right here, breakouts sometimes doesn't work. What I would recommend, case, because you're a long-time follower, so I will tell you this, is maybe for analysis, and this for everybody actually, right? If I'm looking at QQQ and let's just go back to Apple. If I'm looking at Apple and we're looking at, let's say, this pink line to now, right? We turn off all the indicators. We don't need that right now. If I look at this pink line to maybe this pink line, okay, that's the high to the low. Let me erase everything else. So I know there's a resistance. There was a high back here. And now if we look at, zoom out, there is low, low, and then we hit the third low. That's the secret. That's the secret. If you're looking for massive opportunities in the market, you just buy. You try to buy the lowest low possible. And where was that? January 3rd, unfortunately, right? Or if somebody is aggressive, this was actually also an intermediate low, like October, November, because it was low RSI, but it kind of failed. Somebody might have got stopped out of that unless they're an investor, -10%. So let's assume somebody got stopped out. Then you have to make one more entry here, double bottom, and then you're up. A trader would be up 30% on tech. So right now it's at the relative high of the resistance right now, which is why it's yellow light for me. For tech, it's yellow light, meaning caution, 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 in case it comes down on you. This could stop you out. Worst case scenario, we have massive crash one more time. Okay, that would be like World War III type of thing, or massive fraud or government failure, corporate failure, right? But the fact that we're up here, okay, I'm talking a little bit bearish right now, but if we're going to talk bullish, okay, we use a different tool. We use a Fibonacci extension, and then you just hit these targets right here. So if it's a true breakout, we should try to hit the one Fibonacci extension to the upside. It's the reverse. The 1272 and the 1618. These could be the upper targets. And then the support stop loss, gotta say, if it's 4%, that's a little tight, but that's right below this little small pivot point here. Yeah, bounce to that pivot point. So let's see if we could try to get, it needs to stay above 148, I would say. So yes, I hope that makes sense. The entries that I would save educationally that I can talk about is there's a super low in this yellow circle, and then there's a higher low here, which is a little bit harder to determine. But if somebody really plays support and resistance, they could have played the breakout right at that yellow line right there, 152. So if that is kind of more your style, because you've been asking me requests for a long time now. So that's what I was saying. I'm not trying to grill anybody's request. I respect Casey for doing risk reward and coming back every week and not quitting, because some people will ask once and just disappear. You know what I mean? So I respect what Casey's doing. I'm just saying, trying to tighten up the entry. So you would already be in profit right now if a trader caught this right now, like right at 150, 132. As an investor, I like catching this stuff at the bottom, and then you're up like 30%. You have a huge you have a 25% margin of safety as an investor. That's Warren Buffett's style. That's what he taught me. So, just got to do that. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Okay, we have a request from Maruf. Okay. Arbitrum, USDT. Thank you for that. ARB on Binance. Wow. Okay, so this is a newer one. When I see a new coin like this, got to check all the other charts. So there's a relatively new ICO on these. Just keep looking. All right. I want to find. Sometimes I use a website like CoinMarketCap. Everybody knows about that. But okay, these are all basically looking mostly the same, mostly on foreign and Asian exchanges. So we'll just use Binance. Okay. Now, this is a daily chart, all right? So that means there is not that much price information here. If this is a relatively new ICO, there on a daily chart, there is only 2 weeks of data, or 1 or 2 weeks of data on this chart, like 1 week of data, right? So a daily chart is not going to help us that much, except we can put an intermediate like support resistance. So the low on this chart is $1.16 or USDT, 132, and then 139. Okay, so in this particular case, this is where you would have to, and the candle body wick low, I would say, of 111. So at least do that. Get your support and resistance. Understand that, right? You had a evening star bearish pattern, which points that it was going to go down. Now the question is, are bulls going to defend this down here? Because on ICOs, which I don't recommend ICOs to anybody actually, because if it's low, it try to make a higher high. If it breaks below this price right here at 116, it could start a new downtrend and make a lower low like that. Then it might bounce and then do this. I've seen so many ICOs and IPOs that the initial up is just trading hype. Then everyone takes their profit and the shorts futures come down if this is on derivatives trading, right? So the bullish setup, I'll just simplify in 2 ways. So if this price holds and it never goes below $1.16, then it could be a double bottom. It could go back up to 139, right? If it breaks below the price, retests to 115, and then keeps going down, I would not recommend this crypto at all. Why? Because it's not going up. It's not going up. Now, if you want to zoom in, you say, okay, I'm a swing trader. This might be too advanced for some people. But if you're trying to play a swing trade, all right, then wait for the lowest oversold bounce as long as you can wait, and then wait for some kind of support setup, right? Because even here on the H1, it's not going up. It just death crossed on the H1, right? It could bounce up, yeah, to like 123, but it's down cross right now. It is not going up. Does that make sense? The price is not going up at this moment. Right, it has to start uptrending. We almost had that, then it head and shoulders, and it broke down to the downside. So this is dangerous coin. And I'm just cautioning people because, you know, some people might try to go all in on these ICOs, and if the direction is wrong, they'll lose how much money? Negative 20% on the Aldi account. That's catastrophic, right? So I would say risk management. Okay, let's just do a quick little recap on risk management. Risk management, position sizing. So, this education only. Now, we risk 1% of total account size per trade. Example, if you have a $10,000 total account size, 1% risk. So 1% of 10,000 equals what? We don't need to guess. Just take out your calculator, okay? $10,000 times 0.01, 1%. You're risking $100 per trade. Per trade. Per trade. Per single trade. Okay? Round trip trade. So, what does that mean? What does that mean? That means, right? You could how could we do this formula? I'm gonna erase these lines for a sec. Okay, what does that even mean? What that means is if I'm about to buy ARB, ICR, whatever I'm gonna do right now, is an example is if I have a 10% stop loss, it is not 10% of my total account size. 10% of $10,000 would be $1,000. That's 10% risk of my whole account. No. That's not the 1% risk rule, which you could Google, right? So the easy formula here would be, okay, you could have like a 10% risk, but then how much is the position size? So now we're getting to position sizing. Sizing per trade. Now, meaning how much are you going to buy? How much money are you going to put into ARB for one single trade is $1,000. Because if you have $1,000 times a 10% stop loss, which is emergency sell order, market order, if you hit that, then that's the $100 risk per trade. Does that make sense? So you're only risking about $100 or maybe a little bit more than that because there's slippage on the stop loss and market order. So instead, you're not risking 10% on your whole account size. You're risking 10% on the position size per the trade. You do this. So then there's your entry. There's your stop loss. The position size is $1,000 per trade. If the target is 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, you would try to obtain $200 if it goes up here. This is just a 1% risk. Okay. This is that formula, right? So this is not related to the fundamentals of the coin. I'm not talking about the quality of the coin. What is the coin? What is it? What technology is it built on? You know, how much float does it have? What's the size of the coin? What's the average volume? Who's on the team? The developers, the executives. What's the corporation? What's the corporate history? What exchanges is it on? Those are all different questions, fundamental investing side. If you're a trader and an analyst, so we did the first part of charts. This goes for every crypto, but I'm teaching it on ICO because people, when they approach an ICO, a lot of times they ask me is, nobody thinks of anything about this. They just say, oh, new coin, I like the technology, buy, and then they lose negative 90% on their investment, right? Can't do that as a trader. Can't make 10 big mistakes in a row either, right? Because you lose all your money in your trading account, right? So if somebody's a trader, I would recommend practicing this risk management, position size per trade, and the calculations inside of the paper trading here on TradingView. Okay? You don't have to lose your whole account and make 100 mistakes in real life. You just do it all on paper trading and gain all the experience with no downside. No downside on money. You just put in the work and the time. Okay? Or you could practice on like a notebook. I know some people practice on an Excel spreadsheet. Just buy here, they do this. Entry, profit target, stop loss in an Excel spreadsheet, and they just check it later and like, oh, I was right or I was wrong, and then why. You just do it that way too. Or you could do it in the paper trading here, which is even better. Or you could do it on the bar replay up here on Bitcoin for practice. But, if you're a trader, a beginner trader, this is usually, nobody thinks about this first. You have to think about this first, risk management, right? Because if you're wrong 100 times, and or you're wrong once or wrong 100 times as a trader, and every trade is a loss, you have to stop, right? This is real education. This is real life. If somebody's losing a ton of money in their trading account, just stop. Stop doing real money and then practice with paper trading. That's what I would recommend. Practice in here as much as you can, right? There's an example here of BTC 1 average fill price, okay? The stop loss, I might go back to this. Let's go to this now. So hopefully you understand what I'm talking about, okay? I'm not trying to put pressure or grill one person. I'm trying to teach everybody and remind myself at the same time. So hopefully that helps you. Okay, let's go to this Gemini chart. Now, how is paper trading going to help us? Okay, so last week, crypto just went like sideways, right? This is why I don't like recommending buy high on anything. Because look at this stop loss right here. It's kind of hard to see. But this is the Bitcoin price, like right here on the blue circle. We entered just as a fictitious fake paper trading right here, like $28,000 Bitcoin. What was our risk to reward? It was a 2-to-1 play, 10% stop loss down here, which would be on this one Bitcoin be negative $2,591 loss. And then the upside at 20% for this trade would be plus $5,594. So basically $6,000 fake money profit target with a $3,000 loss stop loss, right? That you scale that up. You scale the example up by what? By 300, right? Or by 30 or something like that. You get what I'm saying, right? You just scale it up by, double the stop loss. Instead of $100 loss, you do $200 loss once you have successful trades on strategy, right? But you can see here that if it's going to drop, it's really not that much protection. Does that make sense? Because if it just kind of goes down to 25,000, you can stop down this paper trade. But it's better to stop out here and learn about why should you not buy high, right? Why do we not buy highs, relative highs? Because it can crash down. We want to buy relative lows. So then my job as a chart analyst is I hunt and look for lows. This interesting low. This interesting low. This interesting low. Flash crash. Anybody? Let's pull up some Bollinger Bands. Get some TA on here. That was on a H4. Well, let's see. Did it pierce below that on the candles? Oh, yes, it did. Anybody who knows Bollinger Bands know this is not normal. It's second deviation, right? So there's like a 90, I don't know. Actually, it's not a 90% chance. But there's a higher than 50% chance that this might be some relative bounce area. Don't quote me on that, okay? But you get what I'm saying, right? It's like if they make a decision, just put out some raw numbers out there. Okay, 50%, is it going to go lower? 50% is going to go higher? Well, if you start doing a lot of analysis, add more indicators and such, then okay, there's a greater than 50% chance we're going to have a reversal somewhere around here. And then I enter the long down there. And then if you manage to hold it long enough, that was the bottom of that move, right? So that's what I hunt for. I hunt for lows. Lows. Support low. Sell high. Don't get greedy, right? Hit the profit trade. Get out of there. buy the low, hold it for as long as I can. Maybe I would have taken profit here. Let's see how much this was if this was down here. 10%, maybe I put a stop loss here at 22,641. Let it go. Let it ride. If it keeps going, wow. We hit 40% target, 20% extra profit. So as a trader, investor, you're just happy. You just hold and you're happy. But if you're a trader, you got to make a decision. I have to make a decision. What am I going to do? Stop loss, profit target? Am I going to sell some, let the rest ride, take my principal out? What am I going to do here? So you have to pre-plan that before. So then you're just executing a strategy, and your emotions are not going to affect you in the market. The money side is not going to affect you as much if you practice a lot in paper trading. Okay, so what's the P&L? A measly $57 US. That's if our profit target is $6,000. This is nothing, right? This is commission fees, money. Okay, so that's why paper trading with swing trading or investing, it takes a considerable amount of practice and patience, right? That's why if you don't want to do this method, which I first recommend the paper trading method for people to practice. You could practice on like Bitcoin, USD, maybe on like a shorter term time frame if you want like constant action as a day trader. Okay, or if you want to speed things up and you don't want to wait a month to figure out, or if am I right or am I wrong, that's why TradingView, the genius team at TradingView, the wonderful team, they created bar replay with trading P&L capabilities. I love this tool. Years ago, this did not exist. Let me show you again. So paper trading is perfect. Okay, before I shut this down, right? Paper trading, you have to click it, turn it on. It says connect in that little icon box. You can reset it and set your commission account settings. The $100,000 fake money, and then you open up the order panel here, open up a Bitcoin USD or something USD. Then you have to decide you're going to short or you're going to buy. Most people, they're only long only, so they're going to buy. For practice, I would just say market order on a daily on a 1 unit so that the system doesn't get messed up. And then you have a take profit. Take profit is what? It's that top side, 2-to-1, and then stop loss on the bottom side. Your entry is the current price of like right now. And then that's how you practice. And then you review it by saying, was the trade correct? Did it go up to my profit target or did it hit my stop loss? Was I correct? Was I correct or was I wrong? And then why? You'll learn a lot that way. You learn a lot that way. So we're talking about the trading half of trading. Okay. The chart analysis is like this entire first hour practice. Okay. And the way to practice that is with bar replay. We come here with the Bitcoin and open up something like you don't use. So I'll just pick one, like just pick a Oanda or something. I don't use this chart that much, so I can erase everything on it. All right. And I'm on a daily chart. Okay, if you see this icon here, you might have to have for full capabilities in TradingView. Sometimes you need to upgrade your account. It depends on your account. I have the maximum level account, so I have all the features. But sometimes with like alerts, if you have a free account, I believe you have 2 alerts now. And the bar replay, I'm not sure how it is on free, so you have to try it for yourself if you have a free account. But on daily, you just rewind. So for me, I like to just rewind to maybe like the pandemic, or if you really want to learn, rewind all the way back on Bitcoin to the beginning of maybe like 2017 when the hype was crazy real, right? But for practice, I would say practice on both moves on a market, meaning how does the market look like when it goes down? And then how does it look like when it goes up? So like 2017, 2018 to 2020, I would say practice that. And then practice now, 2020 to 2023. So let's just pretend right now. Remember, if you existed, we all existed on Earth back in 2017, but not everybody was trading crypto and investing. This is a pure uptrend right now. I mean, not right now. On this chart, 2016, 2017, right? Now you see here on the bottom, you could buy or sell 1 and the speed, right? So what are these icons? You could go back to a date. You can play, which means it'll print 1 bar per second. You can fast forward. You could jump to real-time chart, which means that it just cancels. So you kind of don't want to click that. But then this is the way to practice, right? Because then somebody could say, all right, if a crypto looks like this and it's going up, it's going parabolic. It's going to the moon, basically, right? Even in this environment, you could say, Bitcoin's only $4,000. You could say, all right, it's going up. Okay. If I'm disciplined, anytime it comes down on a dip, a low, I might want to buy, right? If it's on an uptrend. So let's see. I don't even remember the exact price action that happens. I just know it goes up, right? Because we know Bitcoin history. But let's just say my entry, let's see. I am identifying support like $3,000 here, 3,500, 4,000. So if it comes in this zone again, I might buy here maybe at like a 36,000 or excuse me, 3,600. So something like this where, all right, I'm going to put a 7% stop loss below this candle here to the left side. Hopefully it doesn't go down that much. And my first profit target might be maybe this top resistance or somewhere here that's above the 2 to 3 risk to reward range. So then we just play. Okay, right there, right? Pulled back down into here. So let's just pretend we're going to buy. We're going to set 1. Just leave it on 1 increment so it doesn't get messed up in the system. Just buy 1. So now it bought here for pretend on a daily. So we're in the trade right now. Just hopefully it doesn't hit my stop loss. So maybe I'll open it up to like a 10%. So now we have a 3-to-1 trade, right? Then you play. Okay, this actually would have stopped me out. The second, in reality, it would have stopped me out at a 7% or 10%. So let's cancel this trade. And I would enter in again now because I see a hammer candle setup. Okay, so the first trade was actually a fail. Second one, let's go. We'll buy and let it go. Right, so now this is a daily. You don't have to wait 10 days to see if you're going to be right or wrong. You just practice this way. So we're in the profit now. We're in the profit now. Okay. So if this is just a single crypto trade, isolated swing trade, okay, it's hitting this resistance zone, and a beginner swing trader would just sell. Okay, I would say beginner swing trader or a trader, you're like, oh my gosh. I mean, a true beginner might not even know what to do. But if you're like an intermediate swing trader, it's like, all right, you got to execute. So then sell here or sell half, sell 25% or move my stop loss up. So for me, because I'm more experienced trader, I would say, is that instead, if it's going to break out, because crypto sometimes goes to the moon, is all right, if it's going to break out, I'm just going to move my stop loss up. So now my entry was right here. This line, yellow line was my entry. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. Now, this second line, I'll put it in blue. Maybe I'll move my stop loss up here to like 4,400 because that's like a pivot point. Then in your exchange, you have to retype your stop loss, cancel stop loss, and then move it up here so that if it ever comes down, I'm still in profit. Does that make sense? I'm not going to lose. I don't want to lose my 10 or 12% profit. Then let it run. Okay, so it kept going higher. Great. Now, as a swing trader, you have to make a decision. Are you going to sell it or are you going to hold it? If you hold it, the problem with holding it is most people hold and then forget about it for a really long time, and then it'll crash back down on you, right? Usually. Like this part, right? In terms of rewinding, if it goes up on you, I'm just going to hold it. But then it crashes like that, you're going to wish, oh, I should have sold it. I should have sold it, right? So you have to make a decision as a trader. Are you going to do profit target or are you going to move your stop loss up? The easiest way is just move your stop, keep creeping your stop loss up, and then the market will kick itself out and you'll take profit. Does that make sense? The market will make the decision for you if you move the stop loss up. I shouldn't say it like that. You're putting a stop loss here, and once it hits that, you're in profit. Does that make sense? You're not leaving the stop loss all the way down here. No. That was the original stop loss. If it goes up, the stop loss should dynamically move up with your trade so that you are not throwing away the profit. We're up 50% profit on this trade, so I'm not going to throw that away. I'm willing to maybe lose 5%, maybe 6%, maybe 5%. Okay, but if it's gonna crash on me, I'm just take the profit. As a swing trader, investing's different. So let's see if it keeps going up or is it gonna crash. Some people right there. People know take your profit on a swing trade, and I would sell. Just be disciplined. What do we make? We made 42% profit on that crypto trade. That's swing trading in a nutshell. If the direction is correct, does that make sense? Does that make sense? Let me check my comments. I haven't looked for a really long time. Okay, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. If you're learning something, if you like my stream, if you're just enjoying it, please follow on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord. I'm giving a lot of free education information and some chart setups as well. Here, we're just trying to build a healthy community of competent traders and analysts. That is why I started streaming. Okay, so BTS USD. That's an example of swing trading in an uptrend. Now you might be thinking, okay, that's fine, but actually what happened later? Well, crypto went to 30,000, right? Or 25,000. Okay, went to 20,000. Now you see, it's swing trading. You're just playing that one leg. We played here to here, and you're out. The problem with swing trading is, and battling FOMO is it the top of the entire move? No, it's not. And I have to be okay with that. If I was going to enter in again, you just recycle and do the same thing over again. Recycle and do the same thing over again. Now we move the parabolic. It's the same thing. I would adjust my analysis, right? And then say, oh, actually, this is a hammer pin bar. It's on support. It's actually a Morningstar pattern with the support, previous level of support, balance, and a resistance breakout. So then enter in again along again. If somebody wants to, with a larger stop loss this time, maybe I'll do like a 25 to 50% trade or 100% and just leave a trailing stop loss and let that thing run. Okay. But the problem is with crypto is a lot of people enter in when it's at a maximum high level. Okay, so where was the maximum high level in this chart? December 2017. So let's just pretend any beginner or anybody new to charts or new to crypto, people are not going to find out about crypto in the beginning. They're going to find out at the end because it needs to go up a lot in value, and then the whole world knows. Like the mailman knows, your delivery man knows. You go to the store, people talk about crypto. You go outside, people are talking about crypto. Every social media is talking about crypto. Bitcoin starts trending on Twitter, right? That's too late. That's up here somewhere, right? So if you're finding out about something, a stock or crypto asset that went up a lot and it's on the news in front of your eyes, it's too late. Usually, it's late stage of the rally. How do I know this from experience? Because back in October 2022, it was completely silent on the internet about trading in most channels, right? Then when we have this uptrend, then everyone reappears because you see it on the watch list that there's a lot of green, okay? In this particular case, this is not the price. But you know what I'm saying, right? If you see a lot of green, then the word spreads on social media. If you see a lot of red, people shut off, turn off. So it's contrarian. Now, that's just a little bit of a correlation knowledge experience, not directed at anybody. Okay, so Bitcoin. Now let's pretend I bought here. Let's say somebody's late to the party and they're thinking like, I remember Bloomberg TV. I really remember on this particular day, people on news were saying, oh, they're long Bitcoin just because of the rally and it might go higher, but that's not a strategy, right? So let's see what happens when you're kind of buying too high and kind of late to the party, right? So to speak, and you're still trying to trade, but the 10% stop loss is there. Maybe you'll try to tighten up for 2 to 1. And let's just pretend you buy here long and then see what happens here when the price is so high. That happens. Stop loss out to the maximum, right? So sometimes that's why being too late to any trade, I just cancel and pass. Okay? I just cancel and pass. Because if somebody held this, I guarantee somebody did buy Bitcoin here at $12,000. And then when it immediately crashed negative 50% in 2 weeks, somebody sold that and lost 50% of their account. Somebody did, unfortunately. Or somebody bought, I heard on the news people bought $20,000 Bitcoin and they held all the way down to $6,000 Bitcoin and then sold at the bottom and lost all their money, right? So you don't want that to happen. You have to have the risk management in place. So this would have been a guaranteed stop loss out. Now, how do you avoid some of that? That's more advanced, but it was going down, right? This thing's going down. Here's going up, left side, right side going down. So you split this and you can study that probably on your own time, right? This is why you bar replay and you study. As a trader, this is where the discipline, knowledge, experience, and skill level differs. Is it going up, price, or is it going down? It was going down. And you continue. Is the price going up or is it going down? It's going sideways for now. Excuse the background noise. But it's going sideways right now, right? And is the price going up or going down? It's still kind of going sideways. Oh, actually, no, it's going down. So then if somebody really wants to understand crypto is, well, now there's a descending triangle pattern. Oh my goodness. What does that mean? Well, it could go down another negative 50% of Bitcoin. That's the target. This is where TA helps. I'm looking at right between pink line to pink line. I'm going to flatten and close out everything. Okay. So then if you're a short, and this is when Bitcoin futures just started, literally on this day, December 19, 2017. That's why it stopped if you know your crypto history. Chicago Mercantile Exchange, CME, they started crypto futures trading on this day, exactly, on this month. It was approved. That's why it shorted down. Somebody made a ton of money back then. Okay. But if you know your chart patterns, descending triangle, all right, conservative target, negative 40%, we lose that. For me as an advanced trader, I might want to short this thing down and say shorting is dangerous, so you only use a small amount of capital. But maybe use like if it's a 40% target to the downside, maybe you'll do a 20% stop loss on the short for an example. So I'm going to sell and let this thing go. Oh, so would have got stopped out here. Not quite ready to go. Okay, would have got stopped out on that. No problem. So flatten it again, but I'm still committed to this, right? Let's see what happens. So consolidating. And we all know what happens in history, but sometimes you get stopped out. Now, the measure move of the sim triangle is 37%. There's still 40% target, but there is a risk of 40% bounce as well. So in this particular case, we need to see the price strongly break down, retest, and then crash for the short to be real. Still hesitating right there on this one day. This is a Bitcoin Cash. This is the Bitcoin Cash Civil War. Right here, November 18 to December 2018, but having to wait for that, and then there we go. You know what I mean? So sometimes, right, some trades is never 100%. Now, if somebody's doing 1% rule, then me getting stopped out 2 times is no problem because I had a 10% stop loss, but I made 40%, so I had 30% profit on the examples, basically on this side. And on this side, I had 20% profit on the short, basically. So in all these examples in general, right? It's not perfect system in bar replay, but I had about 50% total profit. Okay. Just doing some fast, basic swing trading on Bitcoin. But what's not shown on the screen is, do remember how much emotions were here during this time? If you're a crypto trader, do we remember? July, or like right here, it was September 2017 all the way to about like January, February 2019. This was, I would say this is like the maximum emotions of maximum high emotions to maximum low emotions, meaning maximum happiness and euphoria. And everybody thought crypto was going to $1 million. I remember people saying Bitcoin $500,000 in 2 years, which would be 2019. And that was not true, right? And then we crashed down to oblivion down here, back to low 3000s, but it recovered again, right? So this is what I'm saying. The practice here on the charts in the past, so that when you get a crypto in the future with like what's happening right now, we're able to play it, meaning we're able to trade it, we're able to invest, because I've studied this multiple times. I don't memorize it, but on multiple cryptos and the stock market, so that if you fast forward to now, right, 80% success rate on my trades. Okay, right? I'm just showing you this because this is why bar replay is important. 80% success rate, that's good. Okay, that's good. You want to have a high success rate on your trades and your decisions. Okay, now when you fast forward till now, okay, didn't the same thing happen in 2020? It was very scary and very fearful, but the same deal is you had 2019 euphoria high, a pullback, almost a rally attempt, and then we crashed down and failed in 2020, and then it started going up again. This is, if you studied or you learned 2017, what did that look like? Almost like the same. So studying the charts matters. Practicing studying matters, right? So trying to capture this Bitcoin, what, 500%? It was 1,000%. So because I studied chart and practiced so much, that's why I was able to sell here my cryptos. Now, the downtrend, and I'm going to end here in like 2 minutes. The downtrend part is, well, what do I need to study? Study this part. This part. 2018 to 2019. Studying that. Understanding, what does that even look like? And then understand, what does that look like today? It's very similar. Very similar. So that if we zoom out a lot, doesn't this, what we're looking at right now, doesn't that look like this a little bit? Which means we might be in a new uptrend. That's how I know, right? I mean, it's only what, 4 examples, 4 moments in time, but for crypto, that's all we have. That's all we have. And to further end this, right, bar replay study is you go to weekly, okay? You go to weekly chart, and then let me not go on Wanda. Let me go on like we'll use like a Bitfinex or something like that because it goes back to 2014 on the chart, weekly chart. Okay, very long-term chart, and you can see, didn't we just bounce off the 9-year support line? Okay, so if this is true, then hopefully we'll get a rally on Bitcoin to about $40,000 or about 70,000. Maybe we'll actually hit that $100,000 target or $250,000 target and beyond, right? But where are we? Are we at the relative high or are we at the relative low of Bitcoin? It's relative low. So as long as we hold above $15,000 and $20,000, we're fine. We are fine. And if it keeps rallying to 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, $100,000 Bitcoin, beautiful. That's what we've been waiting for 5 years as crypto investors. Okay, so does this make sense, everybody? Now you can see how I'm trying to tie everything together. The first hour, we did technical analysis of stocks. Then 30 minutes later, we did technical analysis of some crypto. We did some requests. We did paper trading, practice paper trading, our charts and our risk management and our position sizing. Then we also study some bar replay of the past. This is why technical analysis is helpful and works. We study the past so that we can learn potentially what might happen in the present and the future based on price patterns and indicators. It doesn't always work 100%, right? Because what did we not know was going to happen in the past 2 years? Pandemic, virus pandemic, Russia-Ukraine war, China supply chain problems, and then what's the further additional problems that happen in the future? Well, we had now interest rate increases, bank failures, crypto regulation exchange lawsuits. A lot of bad things happen, right? But for the price, even back then, bad things happened too. I would say the past 3 years has been probably the worst in the past like decade in terms of global events. But as long as we hold this low on Bitcoin, I am not scared of anything in crypto. The only thing I'm scared about would be if USA bans Bitcoin and all cryptos permanently. Then every crypto trader in America would panic severely. But as long as it's legal to own crypto and trade and invest in crypto, and as long as the CFTC does not ban Bitcoin trading or kick Binance out of USA and shut down Coinbase, as long as bad things like that doesn't happen, we should be fine. Or, if Bitcoin crashes for some reason, right, or corrupts and something goes wrong with the blockchain, hopefully nothing catastrophic happens. As long as that doesn't happen, we should be okay. We should be okay. What will make me change my mind is if the price breaks down below 15,000 and we downtrend back below 10,000, we're in big trouble on crypto. But if that doesn't happen, smooth sailing as usual. All right. So I covered a lot today, a lot of free education, knowledge, information as well. And I'm just trying to teach people and help people. Okay. So if you like what you saw in the stream, you learned something, you just want to support the stream and be part of the community, consider following me, No FOMO Charts, on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord. And always remember to have a margin of safety in our trading and investment and our charts. So thanks so much for watching. That's going to be all for today. And I'll see you next Sunday, April 9th. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.